Oh man, the time has come indeed. With much excitement, South Africans now look forward to MotoGP and Motorsport weekends. Ah man, congratulations once again to Brad Binder on his incredible win, and we all look forward to what he will deliver, of course, this weekend in the Austrian MotoGP. That's going to be amazing. But right now, we are talking all things motorsport. Formula One, of course, heads to Spain this weekend. So how will reigning champion Lewis Hamilton respond to Max Verstappen's win from last weekend? And of course, Motorsport Writer Dane Hansen is here to tell us a bit more about what we can expect from the world of Formula One and MotoGP. And I know that Graham wants to get in on the action as well, so come on in there. Dane, how are you doing this morning?
I'm very well, thank you. It's nice and warm and sunny here, as you can see in Barcelona. I'm reporting to you live trackside.
I love it, man. Listen, what an exciting time in the world of motorsport in general, in the challenge that is being waged by Red Bull in the sense of Formula One, of course, what Brad Binder's done. But let's take our focus to Formula One right now at the moment. Of course, Max Verstappen winning last weekend, 70th anniversary of Formula One. A very, very important one. I'm sure that Lewis Hamilton must have been gutted to have lost that one on home ground.
And especially, Dane, because Lewis Hamilton loves Silverstone. That's kind of like a track of his. He's taken ownership, I think, 7 wins there. How much did that Red Bull win tip the apple cart last weekend?
You know, I think they definitely did tip the apple cart. Bit strange to see a Mercedes on step number 2. And yeah, so I think in terms of Red Bull challenging the championship, all things being equal, they've definitely got the personnel, they've got the technical personnel, and in Max Verstappen, they've got the driver. He's proven himself time and time again that he can drive around issues. But you can bet that Mercedes will have done their homework, and they are going to be looking for a repeat this weekend in Spain.
Yeah. How do you see Mercedes mounting a response to this right now? Because they've been pretty dominant throughout the season, and to kind of have this hobble or speed bump
on the radar,
on the way. How do you see them responding this weekend in Spain?
It's going to be an interesting weekend. The Mercs are quick learners. And again, they've also shown us time and time again just how quickly they can bounce back from issues. It's going to be a hot weekend in Spain. It was a hot weekend last weekend and the weekend before. And the Mercs have shown that they struggle a little bit in the heat. They've got something called a dual axis system. So without getting too scientific, that just allows them to turn the toe of the tires. And so what that allows for is they can control and regulate the temperatures a little easier. But to everyone's surprise, including themselves, that caught them out in Silverstone, where it was extremely hot, and they just weren't able to perform. So they're going to be looking to maybe use that system a bit better this weekend. But time will tell. We'll just have to wait and see.
We saw every kind of strategy being employed: 1 stop, 2 stop, 3 stop. We saw Leclerc pull off the 1 stop quite dramatically for a pretty good showing on the day. How do you see tactics playing out, as you say, on a very hot track like this? Are we going to see a similar sort of race? What are you expecting?
I think it will be interesting. They're going to be using compounds C1, 2, and 3. So these are the slightly harder compounds. Like Silverstone, Catalonia, or the circuit to Barcelona, it's quite high energy and the turns are quite long. So managing tire degradation, managing tire temperature is going to be difficult. Because they are using the harder compounds, I can forecast maybe a 1 stop. But in the world of Formula One, you never know. Even in a season where you think a driver like Lewis Hamilton will be walking the championship, you'll have upsets like we had last weekend.
And of course, you also talk about, like, you never saw a season like this where Ferrari would kind of be in trouble in terms of Sebastian Vettel and where he stands right now.
Who is Ferrari?
In one of the radio interactions with the team, you heard him kind of saying that you guys messed up. I think a pretty pertinent moment in the race there. What does this say about where he's standing is with the team and, I guess, Ferrari in general?
I think it explains itself, really. But in terms of Ferrari, it's a little bit like what Martin Brundle said. They seem to be standing on their own tail at the moment. They seem to be caught up far too much in their own politics at the moment. And this is unfortunately just another driver relationship that's turned a little bit sour. If we go back into the history books, we can see Alain Prost, Nigel Mansell, even Michael Schumacher was asked to leave the team eventually. This time it was just a little bit more sour. Shake-ups can be bad, but they can also be good. With the introduction of Carlos Sainz next year. One thing that has been particularly impressive, though, is the way Charles Leclerc has handled himself. With all these distractions, he's just got his blinkers on, his head's down, and he's already snatched a couple of podiums so far.
Yeah, he's certainly become the #1 driver. Speaking of number ones, of course, I'm still glowing from having just chatted to Brad Binder, our first MotoGP race winner, only on his third outing. Let's talk about, in a broader context, MotoGP as they head into Austria to the Red Bull Ring. If you look at last week's podium, I think 3 just about rookies. Morbidelli, that was his first podium. This MotoGP season is wide open. How interested are you in what's transpiring on 2 wheels?
Very, very interested. And it's going to be a cracker of a weekend as well. So the Red Bull Ring, it's going to be a home ground for KTM. It's a home ground for Red Bull as well. We're expecting a little bit of peculiar weather. I think this massive heat wave in Europe is bringing some quite unusual rain. So going into this round of the MotoGP Reshuffle Championship is definitely going to be interesting, especially with our boy Brad. He's seems to be going strength to strength, and for a rookie to take a victory in only his third race it's nothing short of phenomenal.
I mean, just from a South African supporter's point of view, how expectant should we be of Brad continuing on this vein and perhaps even taking a few more podiums going into the rest of the season?
You know, MotoGP is unlike any other sport, but where it is similar to other sports is that it's the same as taking your first wicket for your country, your first try, your first goal. It just lifts a little bit of that pressure, and it just allows you to relax just that much more. So I think going into this weekend, he'll be feeling far more relaxed. I know that the KTM does enjoy it. When they first came in to the sport, they had their shakedowns there, and the bike has always responded well. But that's not going to be without challenge. I think Quartararo, the championship leader, I think he's got about a 17-point lead. But the thing is in this sport, you cannot be caught napping on any weekend. So he'll be looking to extend his lead. But this is also a power track. The Ducatis love high power track, or high power tracks rather. And with Dovizioso in the saddle there, he won last year, and he'll be looking to make amends for last weekend as well. They did have some trouble, and he'll be looking to repair that.
Dane Hansen joining us from the Barcelona-Catalunya track there. Thanks a lot, Dane, man. Much
Wear your
appreciated.
sunscreen. Put some sunscreen on, but it's going to be a
I will. I'm
weekend.
going to... Should have brought my sunglasses, but I didn't.
Have a good weekend, man. So, yeah, the 4 wheels.
You too, guys. Thank you so much.
Spain, and, of course, the 2 wheels heading to Austria.
Come on, Brad.
All eyes will be fixed on our screens where motorsport will be absolutely rampant this coming weekend. But, of course, that's not all for the sport today. We are also chatting football a little bit later on with Carl Lewis. So much sport. So much sports. Come on now.